what's up everybody? It's Stacy Storino. Welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for entrepreneur moms with a digital presence. Now, if you're all fired up about launching on TikTok, but you don't know the right way to do it, and you're all worried about doing it wrong, well, I'm gonna cover in this video the wrong way to launch on TikTok. If you do not do these things I warn you about, you should be fine. Whether you have a pitch perfect launch or not, I'd rather you break the seal and get moving on TikTok now while the algorithmic reach on that platform is better than anywhere else, rather than have you trying to obsessively prepare for the perfect launch and it never really comes. Nevertheless, there are a few mistakes I'd prefer you not to make as you launch. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get real world help that entrepreneur moms like you need to succeed when you're doing business online today. Now, if you're on the fence about launching, you're just having a failure to launch kind of crisis of conscience, you're worried that you're a fish out of water on TikTok because you're an adult and not a kid, or that it's all possibly a waste of your time to try and be on TikTok in the first place, for whatever the reason, be sure to check out my video, Should an Entrepreneur Mom Begin on TikTok? That video will be a big help to you and will hopefully get you ready to take action. So if you missed that video, be sure to check it out. But here in this video, we're talking about the wrong way to launch on TikTok. Perfect is the enemy of done, so stop stressing perfection. There, I gave you permission to stop doing that. But of course, you don't want bless this mess going on either as you launch. You do want your launch to go well as it possibly can, of course. So here's my advice about the wrong way to launch on TikTok, and hopefully it helps. Let me know if it does in the comments section down below. What's the first mistake, you ask? Setting up a pointless bio. There's no point to driving attention to your profile on TikTok if your bio isn't optimized. In my last video, I discussed this issue, and in another video of mine, Entrepreneur Mom TikTok Marketing Strategy, I do a deeper dive into what sort of bio you should have as a mature adult who is an entrepreneur marketing on TikTok on behalf of your business. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, you really should check it out. It'll help. Suffice it to say, having a goofy bio, just like all those crazy kids out there on TikTok will not help you. You need to make sure visitors who drop by your account know in all of 60 seconds who you are, what you do, who you help, and how to take the next step with you. What's the second mistake when launching on TikTok? Not going pro. You want to make sure that you've taken the steps necessary for you to have a pro account on TikTok. Do not have the default personal account settings. You want to have the right account set up for you as an entrepreneur mom that is the pro account. It's free, and in the video, Should an Entrepreneur Mom Start on TikTok, the one I just did in this series, I specifically tell you how to do that. If you've already launched your TikTok account and you haven't gone pro yet, please don't sweat it. It's not too late. You didn't break or ruin anything. Just make sure you watch that video, take the steps to go pro, and you can relaunch your account, if you will, moving forward in the proper manner. You just don't want to miss out on all of the goodies that can help you to understand your audience and how your content lands by not going pro as soon as possible. Of course, there's another wrong way to launch on TikTok, and that involves not banking content in advance. I'm guilty of this mistake. See, nobody's perfect, okay? Just launch after you're done watching this video, of course. Look, I launched with a spreadsheet of ideas for TikTok videos, and I had done a lot of strategic planning of the content up front. And my idea was to start off with 10 pieces of content per day, every single day for just the first week. I still think this isn't a bad idea to do, even if you have to shoot a bunch of content over the weekend when you have time and you edit it natively within the TikTok app, save it as a draft, and publish it later during launch week itself, okay? That's what you do. But me, the first 2 days of my launch, because I didn't have a bunch of content prepared in advance and saved as drafts, well, when life happened in Casa Storino, because I'm not just an entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur mom, thank you very much, guess what happened? I lacked a nice fat bank of content, and therefore I only managed to create 3 videos a day for the first few days. Did I grow? Sure I did. The content, thank goodness, was planned. So executing on the fly, I did get out 3 pieces of content per day that, based upon 6 years of experience, I knew my niche would like, and was content that was fast and fun for them to consume on TikTok, and was otherwise well optimized for them to be served up and or find on the app. I grew plenty fine. Would I have grown more if I published 10 a day from the start as I planned? Maybe. Fatal flaw? No. Do I think in many cases 3 videos a day, maybe once around every meal time, if you need that as a reminder, will be fine for your purposes as a super busy mother who's lucky to even be launching on a separate platform over and above your Facebook, Instagram, what have you, that you already have going on already? Yes, I think 3 videos a day spread out, if that's what works best for you, will do you just fine. So perfect is the enemy of done, and at least I was publishing more than once a day. And the good news, I can always publish more content on the app as I please, no sweat, for the rest of launch week. And moving forward, if you're in my shoes, just have the same attitude and it's all good, because the more you publish, the easier it is for you to be found when people search on the hashtags you optimize your posts with, and or the easier it is for the TikTok algorithm to keep showing you out one piece of content at a time to hopefully the proper audience you're trying to attract anyway, which of course, if you know what you're doing, is not everyone. When you try to sell to everyone, as they say, you end up selling to no one. If you know your niche, publish content that they like, optimize it so it can be served up properly up front and be found in a hashtag search later, and you're good to go. While you should shoot to have an effective launch week and bank content in advance, that's the best thing to do. If you've already launched and set things in motion, do what you can to just pump up the jam on launch week or relaunch week so that you're more satisfied with your end result. Which leads me to a related mistake, which is not publishing enough. Please don't think that publishing once a week is enough to enjoy strong success on TikTok, launch week or not. Now, whatever you might have done, if anything, up until now, again, do not sweat it. The top brass at TikTok has indicated that channel authority as of right now doesn't per se exist or otherwise work to determine whether people will be shown your content when it's first served up on TikTok to the general public. That's kind of good news, because every piece of content is a new chance for you to score followers for your account. But if you're a super busy entrepreneur parent and can't do 10 to 20 TikToks a day, that's fine. 3 a day will be nice. Once a day if you can't do anything else, but be sure to build up to 3 as soon as you can. Otherwise, just understand that if you're posting once a week or not very consistently, that's not likely going to be effective on any social media platform, let alone TikTok. So if your content hasn't been performing on, say, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and you've been publishing once a week or not even persistently and consistently enough in general, that alone may be why your business's platform isn't growing anywhere, TikTok or not. So if you can publish up to 10 TikToks a day during launch or relaunch week, and otherwise at least commit to posting at around 3 times a day all the time after launch or relaunch week is over, that's ideal. That said, let's be honest. We're all busy entrepreneur parents here, right? So if once a day is all you can do, but at least you're doing that persistently and consistently, and you're just absolutely positively sure that you can't dedicate any more time to creating TikTok videos beyond that, well, it's better to be persistently and consistently publishing content that adds value on the daily than to publish content any less than that. But again, if you want to launch nice and strong and grow harder and faster now, because the time's right for you to do that on TikTok right now with all of that sweet extra organic reach, I'd prepare a bank of content in advance, shoot for publishing 10 TikTok videos a day at least for the first week, and then drop down if you must to about 3 times a day thereafter. But this isn't hard to do, especially if you consider my warning about the next thing not to do when you're launching or relaunching on TikTok, and that is not creating and editing videos in-app. You do not have to go crazy. Just create your videos by shooting them in-app or inside the TikTok app itself. These videos can't be longer than 60 seconds when you do it that way. You toggle between a 15-second limit and a 60-second one. Period. That's all you get. According to the powers that be at TikTok, they want fast, fun, enjoyable content. This isn't YouTube Junior or anything like that, okay? But that's the good news, really. So let's pretend that you shot 10 TikTok videos a day. That's 10 minutes max of shooting time. Period. How hard is that? And editing inside the TikTok app is the way to go too. That's what TikTok prefers, quite frankly, that you use their tools and stay in their app. All the app owners want it that way. They never want you to leave their app. So you don't have to export and import videos, do a whole bunch of fancy editing, and take a whole bunch of time out of your day per video just to create content. So much less stress than when it comes to creating 3 to 10 TikToks a day, especially during launch week, right? But as you're creating content in app, there's a few things to consider nonetheless, because it's a mistake not to use music and sounds from TikTok. You do not have to duet with strangers and or dance or make a goofball of yourself on TikTok if you don't want to, okay, mama? You can if you want to, in which case, have a blast. But if you don't want to at all or much, that's okay too. Some will argue that you'll grow slower for not having done that, but that's okay. If you're okay with not growing your account all supernova hot, then that's fine. Go ahead and create original content that isn't a challenge or a duet. You might be a business owner who sells products and or services to a very specific niche. So you're going to create value add content that's not necessarily TikTok trendy. Fine, you know your people. That's not the mistake I'm talking about here. But the wrong way to launch on TikTok does involve this mistake, which is creating content that lacks either songs that you can obtain directly from TikTok to use in your content and or sounds that are also readily available for your use on TikTok. You see, TikTok puts those items in the app for you to use, and when you don't take advantage of those items, you could be getting less algorithmic reach on the app because of it. TikTok wants you to use their goodies. So when you create content, especially for launch week, but also afterward, you do well to have music going on as you narrate or as your content otherwise is displayed on screen. Or put some fun sounds in there to accentuate a point you're making or to help you showcase something you're displaying. Not only will the algorithm like that better, but so will the humans who are encountering your content, because it will also have more of the look and feel of other content that they're otherwise consuming on TikTok. But another wrong way to launch on TikTok is having unrealistic expectations. I want you to take the stress out of launching on TikTok, okay, mama? Just do it. Make a solid effort after optimizing your account, and for your sake, as much as possible, batch recording content in advance so that you can publish enough content on the TikTok app to even really have much of a launch in the first place. It's unrealistic to expect to blow up with a post a week or just a post a day. Nothing is impossible, but I'm just saying the algorithmic reach is super sweet, but you really do have to have a healthy showing on the app and give the algorithm plenty of chances each day to showcase your TikTok videos to the people you've optimized that content to be served up to, optimizing your content via your use of hashtags and such. It's also unrealistic if you're not trying to work trending content, doing challenges and such, to expect to have 1 million followers or more overnight, or possibly ever. But that's okay. You don't need 1 million followers or more to be a successful business person with a high converting business presence on TikTok, especially if you're an entrepreneur mom with an established legit business that sells products, services, or both, because you're not trying to be an influencer per se. You've already got your business model, and that's selling your products, services, or both to a specific narrowed down niche of people. You're not trying to be a megastar influencer for the sake of being a megastar influencer. That's a different business model, and it could be a dangerous one, especially if you're chasing that particular sort of dragon. You could end up suffering what I call the curse of the Instagram zombie account influencer. What? Well, make sure you hit that notification bell, because in the next part of this TikTok series, I'll explain exactly what I mean and why being an influencer too hard and too fast on TikTok could, I'm saying could, be a mess for you sooner or later. In my next video, why you don't need to be TikTok famous, I'll discuss how you can stay true to you, grow slow and steady and still be proud of yourself, and how you do not need to cut your nose off to spite your face and end up becoming the functional equivalent of an Instagram zombie account influencer. But on TikTok, of course. I'll explain what I mean, I promise. I'll also share with you a sweet spot in terms of where to grow your following that just might shock you in a good way. So you don't want to miss that video. Again, make sure you hit that notification bell and select all so that you can follow along with this entire TikTok series that I've got to offer you. In the meantime, while you're waiting for that video, be sure to check out these two awesome videos as well. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot when you do that. And of course, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.